take a look around and find somebody to War Eagle. It's showtime.
Holy cow! Oh my God!
Well, that must mean it's time. Hello, Auburn, Alabama, and all points around the globe where the words War Eagle can be heard and returned with joy. Particularly in St. Andrews, Scotland, La Jolla, California, Wellington, New Zealand. All places where the current weather is suitable for human existence. Unlike my home, probably your home if you're in the lower right third of the continental United States of America, where it has been far too similar to the Amazon for about 2 months. Gross. Anywho, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to you, and I hope this message finds you truly well and joyful, and that you are absolutely joyful at the imminent arrival of college football. More particularly, Auburn football. A scant 10 days from right this very moment that I'm speaking at you. Delightful, is it not? I'm in a little bit better mood than I was last time. Not so cranky because, well, I guess I got it off my chest, and, I have to take a little bit of my own advice and my own medicine and just, well, like I said last time, unfortunately, part of what I need to do here involves reading and consuming the newscape surrounding Auburn athletics, and it can be excruciating. But anyway, so that's past, and I have an announcement to make today, which I will do here shortly, but stick with me. This is going to be a little bit different today. But I will, as always, say hello. Hello, consumers of Auburn broadcast transmissions, those of you with telephones through which you play this podcast, and all the other devices scattered about your lives. And welcome, hello and welcome to Auburn Stuff, the variety show podcast where we discuss the philosophy of life in orange and blue, and other stuff that you may or may not find entertaining and informative, but that I certainly do. Warm greetings as well to our listeners from Livingston to Lynette, Jekyll Island, Georgia, Narragansett, Rhode Island, Mason City, Iowa, Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I bet it's pretty nice right now, and Okinawa, Japan. Thank you. Thank you for joining the fun. It is, as I speaking to you, Tuesday, August 24th. It is rolling around to 1325 Eastern Daylight Time. And the current weather at College of Magnolia is, well, it's actually not horrible for late August, you guys over there. It's hot, but it's August. It's supposed to be hot. Just don't want it to be feels like 123 hot, like it has been here. Y'all got a little elevation on me over there, and you're not surrounded by marshes and swamps, so, and the Gulf Stream blowing in all that warm air, so hopefully you are not sweating as profusely as I. But anyway, so if you've been with me for a while, you might recall that 3 years ago I did an episode about all of the, let's call it, dipshittery that I was so very hopeful to never ever see again in an Auburn football game. Inspired, the episode was, by the utter face-palming manner in which we managed to piss away a golden opportunity at a landmark win at Clemson that year, clowned our way through a narrow win over Mercer. Do I need to repeat that? Narrow win over Mercer. Of course, then we absolutely shit the bed, giving away a guaranteed win for the ages at LSU. Talk about that forever. There's a lot of moments from the past 8 years that we will scratch our heads and face palm and talk about forever, as in the context of, what was that? Anyway, and then we had a potentially historic season fizzle into irrelevance in the SEC championship game. Do you remember that year? Yeah, I bet you do. Imagine a season during which you dominated your two biggest rivals, as each of them was ranked number one. And in the end, it meant nothing. You don't have to imagine it, Auburn family. You lived it. Sadly, as I undertook this endeavor to record the episode about all the dipshittery that I was hopefully to never see again in an Auburn football game, my hopes for a corrected course based on lessons learned, you know, the thing that every 5-year-old can do, were dashed against the rocks of stupidity as once again we kept sticking the paperclip into the electrical outlet, thinking, this time I'll harness electricity instead of being electrocuted again. Bzzz, ow! Bzzz, ow! Like we're fucking Homer Simpson. Well, friends, the intellectual vacuum responsible for our cognitive football dissonance is gone. And gone with that individual, hopefully, are the quasi-sociopathic and altogether incorrigible mechanics of failure. It's one thing to fail. It's another thing to continue to fail whilst doing the same thing over and over and over again, and blaming it on everybody else. It is time, once again, to reprise the Stuff I Never Want to See Again episode, a new version of it. A talk about the prospect of competence without the looming black cloud of Groundhog Gus lurking in our collective subconscious. But, and here's the fun part, we're going to do it a little differently. We're going to do it live. We're actually going to discuss this topic and almost, there will be rules, almost anything else you care to bring to the table as Auburn Stuff goes live. This Sunday, August 29th, starting at 4 p.m., that's Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, and so on and so forth as you trot around the globe through the different time zones. And this will be your opportunity. You know, I do this. I've been podcasting about this, that, and the other for 5 or 6 years. And I'm a radio guy. I grew up, I was that kid that was listening to Paul Harvey and Ludlow Porch and Skip Carey. Storytellers. You know this about me. I've said it before 100 times. I love storytellers. And to get on here and do a podcast where it's just me, just because of geography, time, availability, and all that kind of stuff, I cannot get a regular co-host or a regular group of people that can be co-hosts or guests because of shit you don't care about. Anyway, so I'm going to do something that I've wanted to do and maybe take this show, this podcast, in a slightly different direction and do what I love to do, which is interact, discuss, ruminate with you, the Auburn family. And I'd like to make this a regular thing. We're going to see how I picked this particular time, Sunday afternoon, to see how it would go based on everybody's schedule in general. Obviously, there are 24 time zones, and I can't do something for everyone. But the live show will, of course, be recorded and posted here in this space. But hopefully Sunday afternoon will be that time when you're kind of winding down from your weekend frivolity and getting ready to, take a little breath and figure out how you're going to construct the week to come. And hopefully this will be a good time for you because I'd like your participation. You can sit back and chill and listen to the fun if you want, but this is your chance to comment in the chat. You can actually call into the show. I'm going to see about linking the YouTube thing to it, but I don't care. I mean, video, lots of guys are doing video and lots of guys are doing it better than I ever would. So I'm going to leave that to them. And I got to bring somebody in that knows what the hell they're doing with that stuff anyway. So it is time to participate in Auburn stuff. Bring your opinions, bring your thoughts, bring your A game. Do not bring assholery. Do not bring douchebaggery. Bring an IQ above petroleum. Bring a mentality that's advanced past middle school. That's all I ask, but bring it. This is for the Auburn family. We're going to discuss Auburn stuff and the world as it relates to Auburn, Auburn University, Auburn Athletics, the city of Auburn, and all that entails. But if you are a fan, if you're not an Auburn fan, you just love college football, come on in. But the same rules apply. If you're a fan of another team, you are welcome, but the same rules apply. If you're a troll or just generally an asshole, don't bother, because I'm going to smite you. We're going to ridicule you out of existence so horrifically that you're going to cry to your mommy. Because that's not going to be put up with here. And quite honestly, why bother? If you're an Alabama fan, why would you be here? Just to be an asshole? Is that your goal in life? If you're a dog, why would you be here? Unless you wanted to learn a little bit of something and contribute something meaningful. Otherwise, why bother, right? So Auburn family, I'm going to be counting on you to help me police this and keep it constructive and the kind of show that I want it to be, because this is the thing that I would like to do. I would like to interact with you instead of just talking to my microphone. So, you are going to need to get yourself the podcast or the Podbean app. If you don't have it, go download the Podbean app. It's there in the, what do they call that Apple thing? The what is it? App Store? Is that the Apple? I don't know. I don't care. And so Apple and Android, I guess, it's just download the Podbean app. Sign up, make yourself a little account, and like and follow the show. Auburn Stuff. That's how you can get to the live show. I've shared the link on Twitter already. So look for it there. I think my Twitter address is @StuffAuburn. Pretty sure. So look for updates, but you got the time and you got the location. Once again, download the Podbean app. Make yourself a little account. Follow the show. Press the little bell to get reminders and all that kind of stuff. That way you can get in there, you can comment, and you can call in. You can be a part of it. Hope to see you there. I want you to spread this. Go to my Twitter thing and share that link out, because I'd love to see you all there. I'd hate to just sit there and talk to myself again. I know on the first show, it's likely to be a little sparse until we can figure out how much fun we can have with this and spread the word a little bit. Maybe you guys can help me figure out if the whole Sunday afternoon thing at that time isn't working. Maybe we can figure something else out. I'm all ears. So you have your marching orders. Go do that. Little taste. Some things that the A topic of the show is going to be things we never want to see again. And I want to hear what you have to say. I got a lot of opinions, but I want to hear what you have to say about things like, I don't know, the Wildcat. How about the Sugar Huddle? Sick of that one. Trick plays. Bye. Get out. How about plays that are designed for specific individual player groups so that when they're on the field, everyone in the stadium and watching television and in the galaxy and throughout the universe knows exactly what's coming? That and much more. We'll also dig back and visit the topics of NIL. The new expanded playoff. What's going on inside the athletics department? You want to talk about COVID and vaccinations? If you got a if you have a reasonable take, something to offer, bring it. Conference expansion, we can talk about that too. How annoying it's going to be having Texas. I mean, Texas A&M is bad enough, but oh my God, if you do not know any Texas fans, ugh. They're not as bad as Georgia fans. They're like a hybrid between Georgia and Alabama. They sip tea and Chardonnay, but they claim to like barbecue, and they have an extraordinarily lofty opinion of themselves without all the championships to back it up, without any recent accomplishments of note. So anyway, that's that. A couple things I do want to cover today before I get out of here. In the please just stop it department, I want to note, as I was perusing the selection on the Auburn media selection on YouTube, I came across Zach Blackerby and Locked on Auburn. Go listen, go watch. You know how I am about that. We're all in this together. At least that's how I feel. So I don't say, hey, only listen to me. Not my philosophy. Anyway, I came across a recent episode on Locked on Auburn, which was entitled something like, "Hey, Auburn people, relax." Which I would like to rephrase to say, "Hey, everybody, chill the fuck out." And I saw that and I went, seriously, absolutely gospel. Thank you. Because you guys, come on, we talk about this a lot, but you're allowing yourselves to be spun up into a fit of distemper by people, if you could believe this, by people whose sole purpose in life is to spread emotional distress. Can you imagine? Stop paying attention to these assholes. See how I got worked up last week? I was paying too much attention to it. I want to disengage from that and pay more attention to what you guys are saying. That's why we're doing the live show. But anyway, I mean, look, COVID, vaccines, conference expansion, polls. Oh my God, the polls. Recruiting rankings. Recruiting rankings. Bad scrimmage, good scrimmage. Blah! Look, these aren't things that are happening to you. They're just things that are happening around you. I always have taught my daughter since day one, stop getting all spun up over minutia. The universe isn't happening to you. The universe is just happening. It just is. And a lot of this shit is just stuff quite frankly, they're just making up to get you clicking anyway. You know this. This is not a new concept. And actually, this is exactly the kind of crap my proposed Secretary of Counterintelligence would redirect and snuff out. Maybe I need to volunteer for this job. Actually, it's General Burgess. You ever looked at his background? Guess what he did in the Army? Intelligence. He needs to get on this shit. Take this one particular writer from this one particular publication who... not sure what's going on there. But it's either... I don't know. I'm trying to put this delicately and as anonymously as possible while everyone knows what I'm talking about. This person is either being directed editorially on what to say, which is pitiful, is actually carrying water for someone, which is even worse, or is just completely insane. Anyway, Secretary of Counterintelligence. Get after it. Put this sniveling little scuzzball where he belongs. This kind of distraction is nothing more than water carriers trying to make your support of your team waver. Take a look at how distracted you are right now by all this nonsense. Fucking coaches got COVID. Jesus, it's been happening for over a year and a half. Remember last year? Nick tested positive. Or he didn't. Wait a minute. He tested positive, but then he wasn't. This is just... stop. Just stop. Shut it down and move on with your day. Remember when we had football players being shot dead and committing armed robberies? Now that's the kind of shit you may feel obliged to go ahead and get upset about. The rest of this is just smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors. Move on. Couple other things. Here's a really insignificant thing that got on my nerves nonetheless. I'd like to hear your response to this when we go live Sunday. pumpkin spice latte. Now look it. I got a deep background in the United States Marine Corps, in construction work, in deep water sailing. Man things, lots of man things. Played lots of sports. I drink 98% of the time black coffee. But every now and again, because I am a deep and complex individual, I'm a man of many layers. Every now and again, once or twice a year, about mid-November when the temperature gets below 85 and there's a little nip in the air, I like to have a little pumpkin spice latte. Suck it. Right? Like what you like. However, those from Seattle have determined that today is the day, August 24th, that we should go ahead and reintroduce the pumpkin spice latte to the world. The annual releasing of the pumpkins. Well, fucking A, man. Do you think that everyone on Earth has Seattle weather? Because for most of us down here, well, let's say most of us, for about a third of the country, we got about 6 to 8 more weeks of summer left before we have summer 2, then summer 3, then sort of quasi early fall, then summer 4, and you know how it goes like that. Come on, man. I can't drink that spicy hot coffee and get in the right mood in August or September or most of October. And here's the catch. You can't get it all year long, and they will take it off the market again somewhere around Halloween, when it's still 90 here. And then, like I said, once we get through early fall, which is really summer 5, and then we go through summer 6, and then the second early fall. And then by the time we get to where it's chilly and beverages like that, it's nice to hold a cup of hot apple cider, right? Or pumpkin spice latte. But we won't have it down here in the South. So get your shit together, Seattle-based coffee chain. I don't like shopping with you. However, you're everywhere. Though sometimes it's necessary. Anyway, that was a completely inconsequential event in my life, about which I received an email yesterday that I just wanted to vent a little bit about. You may or may not care. Before I get out of here today, I want to give you something to consider. Today's stuff to consider. There is a saying that goes, opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated. Look around right now. The world, well, it's a very peculiar place these days. Don't you think? Goods aren't moving, services aren't being rendered. No one seems to want to work. Confusion and discontent are baseline emotions. Seems like recovery is impossible. It really does. You feel that in the fiber of your being, because you look around and you can't find anyone else within eyesight who gives much of a shit about anything anymore. And quite frankly, for a huge sector of our population when you are receiving more in unemployment benefits and gifts and trinkets from Big Brother. It doesn't make any sense to go to work and make less. At some point, the bottom line is you're trying to feed your family. Why in the hell would I work for $38,000 a year when I can sit on my ass and make $52,000? That would be stupid, wouldn't it? And that is the crux of the matter. That is how you take the spirit and the soul, the quickening from a culture. That's how you do it. Pretty easy. You simply put the reality outside your window juxtaposed against some classroom debate, some liberal arts debate over utopia. And you put a dollar amount on it. But this is it, folks. This is where the strong and resourceful will thrive. Because, to repeat, opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated. When nobody else wants to work, guess what? There is a shitload of jobs out there. Everybody's hiring. You got a teenager? Get them off their ass. Teach them value. You got a lot of people right now in positions, unfortunately, in positions of power and authority who can't find their ass with both hands, bumble around looking for their pudding cups, and pretend to be adults. Well, the emperor has no clothes, but you do. Give a shit. Get out there and use the responsibility with which you are bestowed from your God-given freedom and take it. Take the opportunity. Grab it by the throat, hold it tight, and show it to the world. That is what you can do amongst this confusion. Don't participate. Take advantage. Step into the arena and get after it. Oh, I am fired up now. But with that, my friends and family, I bid you all good day. Now go forth and get after it. Be as you wish to seem. How you do anything is how you do everything. All right. Thank you for listening. As always, I want to remind you that I am inviting you and all of your friends and family to come be a part of the live podcast. This Sunday, August 29th, 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, etc. Go download the Podbean app, create an account, subscribe, like the podcast, hit the bell to get a reminder. Be part of the show. Be a part of it. Let's do this thing. I'm tired of talking to myself. Want to have a conversation. So you can just listen to the show if you want, or you can comment in the comments section, or you can call in, be a part of the show. Love to have you. Recording of that live broadcast will appear right here in this very space, and I will continue to do this version for as long as I can tolerate myself. But let's do that. So you know where to go, you know where to look. Auburn Stuff can be found at auburnstuff.podbean.com, Apple Podcast, and blah, 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 everywhere else. Everywhere else. Just search the podcast universe for Auburn Stuff. If you want to drop me a line, If you have anything interesting to say, if you have any comments or suggestions, I will be happy to peruse auburnstuff@yahoo.com, or you can use that Twitter thing if you are so inclined. I believe it's @StuffAuburn. Remember this, folks. Actively support what you like, including this podcast. Subscribe, rate, review, give, share. Now more than ever, it is so important to actively support meaningful things. Don't let them go away. Walmart and Amazon will survive. Support meaningful things. And as always, I remind you, as we sign off, be mindful, be fit, be authentic. Sometimes it's all you have. But brothers and sisters, most of the time, it is all you'll ever need. Until next time, that'd be Sunday. War Eagle, everyone, and see you down the road.